Welcome back. Research is showing that 41% of the global workforce is likely to consider leaving their current employer within the next year, with 46 planning to make a major pivot or career transition. So this is huge. I wanted to talk about it. They're calling it the Great Resignation. Welcome back. I'm Reggie Wilson, the founder of Fit for Freelance, where we build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. And this is one of my Health Coach React series, where I kind of break into some new news and let you know what it can mean for you as an online entrepreneur, remote worker, freelancer, anyone who works from home, anything like that. So there's the stat right there, 41% of the global workforce. Monster also did a poll on this and they found 95, but that's like a job searching site, so I didn't really count that. And this research is from the Microsoft Work Trend Index. The article is called "The Next Great Disruption is Hybrid Work. Are We Ready?" And the link's in the description, whether you're watching this live on YouTube or live on Facebook or wherever you find it. And it's really interesting. Microsoft also does LinkedIn. They have a workforce development thing called Glint. Also Teams, right? So all the remote work, they have a pulse on it, and they do lots of research behind the scenes to make sure that they are doing well by their employees and the changing demands of the global economy, right? And so they uncover 7 different topics. I'll give you a quick overview, and then what you can do to make sure that you are on track with your work wherever you're working, and you're keeping up with the times as well. All right, so here we go. The first one, they said flexible remote work is now mainstream. And this is news for some, right? Since the pandemic hit, people got new privileges to work from home. They started to realize they didn't have to commute. And now that jobs are starting to recall people back into the office, that 41% of people is like, I don't know, like, do I have to? Or maybe I can find another job, or maybe we can work something out so I don't have to come into work, right? Because that really kind of pulled the curtain open to see what was possible for people with the remote and flexible work. And this is something that I caught on to back in 2016 when I started my medical writing company. I realized if I want schedule flexibility, I'm going to have to do this on my own and start my own business. So that's kind of how I got into this. The second thing they found is company leaders out of touch. And right, this can happen pretty easily. 61% of company leaders said they were thriving, with only 48% of the employees without any authority saying the same. And that's a pretty big disparity. A lot of company leaders, they're feeling good about where they're at, but they haven't fully considered other people in their organization. And that could lead to a lot of problems. The third thing they found in a report is high productivity masking exhausted workforce, and that's got impacts on quality of life, work-life balance, and wellness, right? So if you were working from home, you might have had added demand, or if your company scaled back, you could be doing more work than you were initially expected when you took the job. So that could be impacting a lot of the things in your quality of life. Maybe you have fewer boundaries in terms of like taking time for yourself. Maybe you're working longer shifts, longer spans of time online because you don't have any like time to go home. You can't really delineate, right? And that's a big challenge for a lot of freelancers and online entrepreneurs, is finding out work-life balance and protecting their quality of life and their own boundaries to make sure they have time to take care of themselves. All right. The question, I want you to leave a comment for me. Let's have a discussion. There's a couple discussion points in here because this is like modern times here. Does your career support the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams? And that's a big question. That's what I think a lot of the 41% of the people are looking for, is having a career that supports that. And that is the vision of Fit for Freelance, is every entrepreneur knows how to lead the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. So leave a comment. If you're on track, if you're feeling like you need some support with that, let me know. All right. Fourth thing they found is Gen Z, age 18 to 25, will need to be re-energized. The biggest impacts of social isolation relative to time in life and career. That was my note from my own research, right? What I wanted to talk about is like, you're 18 to 25, you are in that networking phase. Networking, right? Maybe you're in college, meeting people. There could be parties, right? Going out, you're socializing, and then they lost like a whole year of that plus, right? Like things are not going to be the same for a long time. Also more likely to be single, unattached, not having people to kind of bounce ideas off. So their whole, social skill development process is different from like someone who is further out from that college age or further in a career where you already have those real life connections, like in-person conversations, and you get to know somebody like that. That's going to be really different from Generation Z. So they've got a special set of challenges, and I think we need to pay more attention to the young professionals in Generation Z because they're really going to be shouldering a big load going forward in our business and culture environment. And also huge opportunities for entrepreneurship with all the capabilities that they have with remote work. So we'll keep an eye on that. The fifth thing they found in the paper is shrinking networks are endangering innovation. And that's kind of talking about like that networking, that water cooler discussion. A lot of the biggest innovations and freshest ideas come from people working in different work groups with different experiences and kind of collaborate on the fly on different projects they take up. And when you don't have that real-time interaction in person without a set agenda, you don't have the kind of flexibility of, being able to read someone's body language and work on the turn taking and then bounce those ideas that could really stifle innovation. And the article from Microsoft has a really cool diagram in there where it shows like people have less contact and they're more siloed when they're working on all remote teams. So something you might want to do to combat that is working in a group. If you have like a Facebook group, like the Scale Smashers or other community events where you can reconnect with people, that's a good way to make sure your innovation stays up in your business, right? Sixth thing they found is authenticity will spur productivity and well-being. And 17% of people have cried with a coworker in the last year. I thought that was an interesting fact. People talk a lot about how they got to know their coworkers a little bit differently when they saw them at home. Maybe the kids would make a guest appearance in the videos, or their pets, they would show off their pets. You ever have someone pick up and like, this is my cat. Oh my God, look at my cat, right? So that was all happening. Give me a like if you have a cat and that was you on your Zoom calls. But that authenticity is going to be a big factor coming forward because now we're knowing a little bit more about the home life of people. And then the Microsoft 365 corporate VP actually said the shared vulnerability of this time has given us a huge opportunity to bring real authenticity to company culture and transform work for the better. So whether you're going back to the office or you're staying remote work or you're starting your own business at home, this is a really big time for vulnerability, authenticity, and talking about what really matters to you. And that's what I'm doing here on this weekly live stream, Mondays at 8:30 Eastern, right? So 7, talent is everywhere in the hybrid work world. It's hard to say. And that is something that people are realizing where you don't have to go into the office anymore or apply to a local job. You can apply on the other side of the world as long as you can wake up at that time zone, right? You can do something further away. You can take more trips. You can be a remote worker. And that's a huge perk of having an online business. Something that they said in this section, 46% of remote workers plan to relocate because they can now work remotely, right? So that's a lot of people realizing if you don't have to go into the office, then you can do any job you want. And that's kind of a benefit of Fit for Freelance as an online coach. You don't have to be in Naples, Florida, where I am right now, to get some great coaching instruction. And you don't have to be limited to the personal trainers in your gym. If you want to work with me, no matter where you are in the world, I can do that for you. All right. And then here's another opportunity to comment. Would you rather work from home or commute to an office? And I think this should be interesting to see how this video gets promoted and publicized and who starts to comment on it. So leave that comment for me. Would you rather work from home or commute to an office? To me, that's a no-brainer. I love working from home, but I still go to the office. I'm working on it. Okay. Empower employee flexibility, bridge digital and physical worlds, rebuild social capital and culture, and rethinking the employee experience are all things that people are recommended to do by this study from Microsoft. Going forward, right, to make sure that your business doesn't like take a huge L and have 41% of your own employees looking for employment elsewhere, right? So check that out. And the thing that I didn't mention in this list, because I thought it was worth highlighting separately, is combat digital exhaustion, right? So if people have a lot more remote meetings, they're always on Zoom, they're struggling kind of with like vision, right? You just get into your day-to-day task at home. Things that I notice here, you can avoid burnout with vision, culture, values, and improved quality of life. And that's whether you're working for someone else or you have your online business. So paying attention to the bigger picture, what you want for yourself. These are all kind of big elements of the guilt-free game plan, where we work on your vision. So you know what your biggest goals are over the next 10 years, 3 years, 1 year, and 14 weeks. That's how long the game plan is. We're defining values, home culture. So the values: ownership, compassion, adaptive, science-based, engaging. And then we even put one of your own values in there. And we basically create a business plan for your wellness. And then you use those skills and apply it to other areas in your business and life. And then that's going to give you, hopefully, and so far with the results we're getting with clients, an improved quality of life, right? Better work-life balance, feeling more confident, more energized, all that stuff. So that is basically it. You can learn more about that at the link in the description. And I do want to announce that I just finished the 5-recipe plant-based snack pack for a simple start to eating healthier. So I've got grocery lists of what to buy, and then the recipes on how to cook it. And I was very excited to finally publish that. It's a completely free program here. I got a little picture. That's what it looks like. Those recipes are delicious. Those are some of the top recipes from the plant-based training camp. That's a 30-day program. So the link is in the description. That's fitforfreelance.com/snackpack. And I hope you get a chance to check that out, because that is fantastic. And that's a really good way to save time and avoid burnout. And, make sure that when you're home, you're spending time at home, you're doing it with people and things you love, instead of, worry about what you're going to eat and how you're going to stay healthy and how you're going to reduce your risk of chronic disease. And then if you're going to be burned out, right? Stressed out, what am I going to eat for dinner? Forget all that. Just check that out, fitforfreelance.com/snackpack. And that's pretty much it. Leave a comment, like this, subscribe if you want more content, especially if you're loving this Health Coach React series, where I'm covering some of the news that's coming out, because this is a big moment for online entrepreneurship, online businesses, remote work. And I want to be here to, support you in that and help you with anything you're doing with your goals, especially if it's health related, business related, anything like that. So thanks for watching. And as always, keep practicing. Peace.